Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is the day. Today is the sneak peek where we are talking about the new hero in the next update. It's going to be the Royal Champion, and I will try to explain to you guys today how you can use him, what is his ability, what are his stats, how you guys should use him, and what is the best army to use him with. So let's get into it, and we're starting off with the stats of this new hero. The stats are that she's actually quite tanky. She's a ranged unit, but at the same time she has not the same range as the Archer Queen. Her range is way smaller, which means she can basically only reach above a wall, and that's basically it. And she has a couple of abilities and a couple of unique things we're going to talk about, but her hero ability is going to be the Seeking Shield. How does this work? It's basically an electrolytic chain, but she's going to get her shield, throw it at the defenses, and well, this shield will bounce around between those defenses, basically as an electro bounce, but the damage won't go off. Let's check it out. For example, after the expo, I will use her ability, and we will see how the shield is going to bounce around. And another important thing is that the range does not really matter, which means the shield is bouncing from the Inferno Tower to like really far away defense. One more thing, if you like the videos and if you like my channel, and if you would like to support me, feel free to do so. You have to go in your settings in-game, and then in more settings, scroll down, and there's the creator code ITSU. If you're typing the creator code ITSU in there, whenever you're purchasing anything, whenever you're buying anything in-game, I will get a small part of that, and it would be a huge support to me and the channel to basically help me to do what I do. The next thing, and we're getting back to the Royal Champion, is going to be that this champion is only targeting defenses, which means that's already the first big, or like the second basically, big difference in between of her and the Queen, which makes her pretty decent at Royal Champion walking, charging. I don't really know how to call that yet, but the new champion is really nice if you can if you can charge with him. I think this will take some time for me to actually not always say Queen charge, but this is going to be the Royal Champion charge. And one big weakness of this charge is Inferno Towers or the air defense. You guys can see it right now on your screen. The range of the Royal Champion is that small that healers will get targeted by Inferno Towers or air defenses. The next thing and the next unique thing about the Royal Champion is that she can jump above walls, which makes those charges even stronger. So let's check out how this works, because once again, we're jumping above the wall. She only targets defenses, which means all of those gold mines will be ignored, and well, she's just going for the important stuff. But then again, the big counter to those charges are the air defenses and the Inferno Towers, for example, which means it's not too easy to charge with her, even though this example right now looks kind of OP, but we'll get into that a bit deeper in a couple of seconds. Another thing is which she can attack are enemy heroes. So for example, when we're doing the exact same charge again and trying the exact same thing, we're going to see that she's retargeting from the defenses and going onto the enemy Royal Champion, which basically means the Royal Champion is in defense as well, basically an enemy queen once again. And another thing is her ability is only going on defenses, not on heroes. Another thing which she's targeting are skeletons, which basically means whenever you try to get any value, you can pretty easily counter that with skeletons. Which means as well that I think we won't see miners coming back, because ground skeletons will be really important to defend this Royal Champion, because otherwise she might get out of control. So let's see. All of those ground skeletons are super annoying to deal with for her, because, well, it's basically like a queen and she needs to take every single one of them. And it takes some time, especially when you're not using a healer behind her. She's losing health really fast. And this is already a maxed Royal Champion, which means it's tough sometimes for her. But once again, she's getting outranged by the Inferno Tower beams or by the air defense, which makes those charges really hard to actually execute. But let's take a look at another example, because she's not only attacking the enemy defenses, enemy skeletons, and enemy heroes, she's as well attacking the enemy clan castle. Basically, she's attacking most of the important stuff, and she's only dodging the, I would call it trash buildings, like gold mines, elixir collectors, storages, whatever, like this, stuff like this, which means She's dodging this, but she's going for the important stuff like defenses, etc. But it takes her quite some time. The DPS of her is not as high as the queen, which makes her really, I don't know, let's say weak against those high HP defensive troops like a Lava Hound, because you can see it right now in the video. It takes a damn long time for her to take this Lava Hound out. And this is a little bit annoying, but, well, this means at least she's trying to help somehow other troops. So it's kind of like a mix in between of the queen and the warden, because she's not, she can help stuff. For example, Hawk Riders, we will come to this once again in a second. And, well, she can do a little bit stuff on her own as well. But I think what we should do is we should jump into a couple of attacks on actual bases and not like only like this setup over here, and on how to use her. One of her things and how I think she's going to be used is the Ice Golem combination in front of her, and then just her going for a couple of more defenses. She's basically a big sacrifice always, and going like she's trying to take out as much as possible, and then she's basically going to die. This is one of her of the ways on how you can use her. Obviously, it's not really hero worthy, but I think that's one of the options you have to use, or like the options you could go for using her. The other option is, like I already said, the Royal Champion charge. But the reason why I think it's not too strong is right now on your screen. Let's check it out. We have to delay the healers, otherwise, we talked already about it, otherwise our Royal Champion is getting outranged, which basically means we're losing our healers. Let's see how this charge works. We have to use her ability quite soon, but this is quite decent because this means it funnels our Royal Champion into the base to the enemy eagle. The big issue right now is that the Royal Champion is jumping over walls, which sounds kind of strange because I say it's a bad thing. Because the reason for that, that it's a bad thing is that the Royal Champion is going straight into the base, which means there's too much damage around her. When you're doing a queen charge, you're clearing the sides basically, which means you're only getting damage from in front of you. But with the Royal Champion, you're getting damage from wherever, like from every single angle. Another really nice thing is use the Royal Champion behind a queen, behind Hawk Riders. What does this do? Like we already said, the Royal Champion is targeting defenses, enemy heroes, and skeletons, which basically means the Royal Champion is cleaning everything behind the Hawk Riders. You do not really have to care anymore about the enemy queen. Like when you're doing a queen charge, Hawk Rider attack, you do not have to go for the queen anymore. This is crazy, and considering it, it's going to be an interesting meta in my opinion. The next thing is that even though it sounds really nice having to not really care about the enemy queen anymore, but having the Royal Champion means you have basically two enemy queens in the enemy base. Because you not only have to worry about the queen, you have to worry about the enemy Royal Champion as well. We said already that the damage of the Royal Champion isn't too high compared to the queen, but it's still like, if you have only Hawk Riders or only Loons, and they're getting targeted by the Royal Champion, they will die kinda quick. So it's really important to take her out as well, or otherwise it's basically another queen. Which means, in my opinion, we will see especially the Suilalo getting a huge nerf, because you have basically two queens to take out from now on, which means if you're going for the Town Hall with your own heroes, it means you have two queens on the back end, and this is not going well normally with your own setup. So this is a huge nerf in my opinion to this strategy. The strongest strategy in combination with the Royal Champion, and it's kind of sad once again, but I told you guys already with the new Siege Machine, it is going to be once again the Earthquake, Ice Golem, Witch strategy. I think every single weakness this strategy has on Town Hall 12 is getting fixed on Town Hall 13. The reason for that is the big weakness on Town Hall 12 was the funnel. The funnel is not really difficult anymore. You're using on the flank the Siege, now the other flank you're using an Ice Golem and the new Royal Champion and a Pekka behind. This means both flanks are funneled with this, like with the new stuff basically. The rest is basically the same as Town 12. You have 5 Ice Golems, a lot of Witches and a lot of Boulders getting pressed into the core, and they can reach everything because you have 8 Earthquakes. So the reason why this is so strong is, even though you're having so many splash damage in your defense, because you can see it, we're using this scatter shots as well in defense at the moment. So it's not like we're attacking a Town 12 or whatever, it's basically a Town Hall 13 at this point. So the reason why I think it's so strong is because even though there's so much splash damage around, it means either your troops are completely unkillable because of the Warden ability, and the other option is that everything is frozen because of the ice golems. So this is a really crazy good combination, and like I said, try this as soon as the update is going live, because I think this is going to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest army composition in the game after Town Hall 13. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope bases will adapt, but so far from testing it, I feel like this army composition is, I don't know whether I should call it too strong, but it's really high up there. I think there are a couple of other good strategies as well, but I think this is one of the strongest. So that's basically it for today's video. We had the new hero. I showed you a couple of ways on how to use her, and I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys liked the new hero. I always want to call it the new champion, but it's a Royal Champion, and that's the new hero. And I think it's a really nice addition to Clash of Clans. I think it adds a lot of different possibilities to go on Town Hall 13 and try attacking. I like the big change, and I'm looking forward to you guys trying new stuff, seeing that. Let me know how you guys would use the new hero. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, see you guys and bye bye.